So to start, we'll be in a seat and we'll practice our diaphragmatic breathing. So close your eyes, turn inside, rest your hands wherever you like. Relax your forehead and the space between your eyebrows. Relax your jaw. And transition to our breathing practice today. As you inhale, just slow and steady, natural breath. Expand your belly. And as you exhale, slow and steady, belly gently draws in. Inhale, blow the belly up. Exhale, let it fall gently toward your back body. So unlike Ujjayi, there's not a lot of sound here. You're just naturally breathing, but focusing on the breath, being more down in your belly towards your diaphragm. Bring your awareness to how you're feeling in your body. The quality of your breath. And as thoughts come in, acknowledge and let them pass by. Just something you can deal with at another time. So right now, this time is for you. So enjoy it. Stay for the whole practice. Good. Open your eyes, soft gaze off the tip of your nose. And we'll come to tabletop. We're just going to do a few rounds of cat-cow. So shoulders stacked over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, arch your spine. Take your heart and gaze forward. And exhale, press the earth away. Drop your head. And then just a few more rounds on your own. Good. And then we'll set up for our first pose, which will be Sphinx pose. So we'll start with a back bend or a spinal extension, whatever you want to call it. So first, I like to just have one blanket on my mat just to make it extra cozy. So whether you have a pillow or a towel or a blanket, and then just make that really nice. So part of restorative is just keeping this space that is still a little bit organized so that you can really just tune into your body and your practice. So for this back bend, you've got a couple different options. The first one, you take your forearms down. So I like to have a little blanket underneath kind of the diaphragm, rib cage area. Just feels like it is more supportive, and restorative is all about supporting yourself so that you're not using any muscle engagement. And then your forehead will come down to a block. And if you feel like this is nothing for you, like you're not really getting any kind of back bend, you're going to want to bring the block up higher, or you might even take a block under your blanket or two. Just get creative with your props, make them work for you. And you can rest your head down like this. So this is a more intense back bend. It's holding my chest up So I don't want to feel crunchiness in my back at all. No discomfort. And I also don't want my back muscles to engage to hold this pose. So I want to be able to completely ground down onto my props. So just find what works for you. If it's too intense, you take some of the props away, walk your arms forward, head to a block. There's not a lot of pressure on the block. It's just simply there to ground you. And then we chill. So find a spot. You'll be comfortable in for the next several minutes. And once you get there, just try to let your body melt. And the best practice of restorative too is just to have a nice dark room, maybe even an eye pillow the whole time, kind of like you feel like you're back in the womb. All right, here we go. Relax your jaw. Relax any muscle engagement in your legs, in your low back. Just let yourself rest here on the props. About 3 more rounds of breath. Just remember, as you inhale, belly expands, and exhale, belly softens. So this breath will keep you calm. Inhale, breath. Exhale, release. Good. Walk your hands back. And use your arms to press you up. And maybe you want to round a cat-cow here. My teacher that taught me restorative always recommended to, in every class, take the spine in all directions. So back bend, forward fold, twist. So that's what we will do, and we'll move on to our next pose, which is going to be a straddle. I do recommend that you sit your hips up on a block so that your pelvis naturally tilts forward. And then your toes can turn up. You'll reach for your props. Always good to have everything just kind of handy here. And then once again, this is your body, your practice. So you find the best angle for you. So it could either be something here, especially if you're tight in the groin, hamstrings, inner thighs. It could also be that you're pretty open right now and flexible. So as long as you can keep the spine from really rounding, lead with your heart, rest your hands down, and perhaps your forehead can come to a block. That feels a little intense for me, so I'm just gonna raise this a bit. And then once again, there's not a ton of pressure with your forehead on the block. It's just there as a way to ground you. And then just make sure there's not going to be any tension in your neck. And then once you arrive, find complete stillness. I'm going to use the bolster. This should feel nurturing and supportive. You can take one ear to the side or just rest your chin or forehead on your bolster. So I won't talk a ton. This is your time to relax. Continue with the breath. Inhaling, blow up your belly like a balloon. And exhale, the belly just draws in toward your spine. Your eye pillow, just keep yourself inward. Like the gaze is inward. Close your eyes or have your eye mask. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, and then just let yourself melt into the props. let yourself melt. Just trust your breaths. Inhale, breath. And exhale. And place your hands down if they're not on your mat. Come on up. And then we'll transition to a seated twist. So just bend your knees. You'll probably feel this opening through the legs. Windshield wiper your feet side to side. All right. So now, keeping your booty on your block, you'll bend your knees so your knees point to the head of your mat, and then just let your feet rest into each other. So my left foot is on top of the right, and maybe you feel like you need to even out how level your hips are. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more padding under my right sits bone. And then you'll take your blocks and then place one block in front of your shin. Inhale, get really long in your spine. And then exhale, you're just going to turn to your left as much as your spine will allow without forcing anything. So you can kind of just take your chin down toward your shoulder. You can walk the blocks back if you have more space, but I just want your hands to ground down. Head of your arm bones are back. And then just take your gaze back, close your eyes. Let your sits bones be heavy. Keep that natural state of your breath. The inhale turns into the exhale turns into the inhale. Inhale, breath. Exhale, release. And then you'll take your twist forward, lean forward, and take your feet to the other side. So not much work there. Knees stay facing forward. This time I'm going to scoot this blanket underneath the left sits bone. Right, and then finding that seat, feet are stacked. And you can take your left hand outside your right shin, right hand back. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, find your twist. And then take your gaze back or wherever just feels natural, where you're not using muscles in your neck or upper back. And close your eyes. Let your fingertips rest on your blocks. Notice if you're collapsing in your spine or your collarbones. A few more rounds of breath. And you can deepen your twist just a touch. Inhale, breath. And exhale, release. And then slowly take your twist forward. Take your blocks aside, but in reach. And we'll make our way to our backs. So once you're on your back, take your block. And we'll do an inversion, as well as opening up through your chest. So we'll do a supported bridge, and you decide how high you want this block. So it could be here, which is usually where I'm at. You don't want this in your low back. You want this below your hip points. So more underneath your sacrum, right above your tailbone. So arms can be out to your sides and really take them wide so that your rib cage can still expand. You could have a little support under your neck. Definitely recommend an eye pillow, sock, or blanket here. And then just let the block support you. So inversions help us get fresh blood flow going into the brain. Take some weight off our legs. And you might decide that you want to take one leg up and the other. And something that can really feel yummy, which I didn't recommend in the beginning, is you can have a strap here to hold your legs together. Otherwise, just try and stay melting down into your mat. And again, if this adds pressure to your neck that doesn't feel good, then why would you do it? Just a few more rounds of breath. Inhale, breath. Exhale, breath. Your legs are straight up, bend your knees, take your feet down. Press your feet into the block to lift your hips. And we'll take a happy baby as a counter pose. You can even take a half happy baby, just knees outside of the torso, rock a little side to side, or soles up. Good, and then we'll set up for our final pose, Shavasana. And I want you to be so just open and relaxed here. So you could take a bolster underneath your knees. I just want you to feel really supported. If you are gonna want to open up your chest a bit, I would just recommend taking the blanket and then rolling it to make a really thin roll. For women, this will go under your bra strap. For men, right there underneath the shoulder blades. So you want this coming underneath the armpits so that your arms can be out or up, but you're leaving a lot of room here for your rib cage to open and to continue with your diaphragmatic breathing. Inhaling, belly rises, exhale, belly falls. Cover up your eyes with a towel or sock, and then even cover up yourself with a blanket or just get super cozy. And then once you're there, just enjoy this time. Let yourself be heavy on your props and sink down, letting gravity take hold. And just notice how you feel here after practicing a few restorative poses. You often just don't take the time to do a practice that isn't in some form of exercise. So I highly recommend restorative at least once a week. Just to calm down your central nervous system, reduce stress, anxiety, depression. And I want you to stay here as long as you like. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.